you're really getting recognized for your uniqueness at this time. And I struggle saying uniqueness. You are getting noticed for the little things that you do differently, the little ways that you show up differently, the little differences in appearances. And I want to preface that it's in such a beautiful way. With the Hermit being the bottom of the deck, I really do feel like more than anything, this has to do with less of the physical appearance and more of what you embody. Because, baby, you took the time to do the work, you took the time to do the healing, you took time to do the shadow work, you took the time to figure out who you were as a person, what you wanted to represent, how you wanted to represent it. Ace of Pentacles right beneath that. And I think people are really starting to understand that you got to learn yourself through that privacy. You got to really learn to love yourself through that privacy as well. And you're taking off as a result, okay? The things that you try, the things that you go and dip your toes in, they end up being pretty successful, okay? And I just heard she's got the whole world in her hands. Isn't that like a Christian song? He's got the whole world in his... Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know, but that's the energy that you're giving. It feels like there's a whole lot of options for you. There's an infinite amount of possibilities for you. And through this self-exploration, you were really able to pinpoint which places you wanted to go. I love this. So let's see what else is getting noticed from this collective. I almost said by this collective. We have the Knight of Cups, Justice, and the Four of Wands in the reversal. For some of you guys, this came after a period of not a great relationship, okay? I really do feel like for some of y'all, there was a relationship that really just broke your heart. It really just made you kind of redefine what it meant to be loved. And that's when you really just, you turned back inward. You started to self-reflect. You started to just realize that love came from within. And, you know, honestly, you realized that you did not love yourself in the ways that you thought, in the ways that you wished, and the ways that you needed to, simply put. And so you really took this time to rebalance the light and the dark, rebalance the dark. I dark and the light. I said it twice. Clearly it's important. The masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang. And from that, you're really able to, again, I think part of the reason people think that you're unique and it's coming from your energy, it's coming from your aura, you aren't caring what other people are thinking or saying. Sure, you love compliments. Sure, you still want friends. Sure, you're going to have people who are drawn to you and such. But you no longer are changing your attitude, changing your vocab, changing your closet even for anyone or anything. Like truly, unless it's for yourself, unless you're like, okay, I'm out of this style, I want to do something different, and you're clearing it out, then great, that's a whole different story. But you're not doing things for other people. You've really started to understand, again, there's an aspect of that masculine and that feminine and that dark and that light coming through of just 313, realizing that both can coexist. I feel like sometimes you felt like you had to be on one side or the other, or one could exist but the other couldn't exist entirely. And it's like you're realizing that you feel the most grounded, you feel the best when you're at that center waypoint. And you're realizing, again, that like you can go to each side whenever you need to. But people, as weird as it may sound, there is actually less people who are in that 50% of like having a very equal yin and yang, masculine, feminine. So that's why you're coming off as unique, even though that might come across as normal. Hermit back here at the bottom of the deck. But let's see what else about your uniqueness is getting noticed right now, or what else Spirit wants you to know. The Chariot, Ace of Cups, Two of Swords. The Devil was right beneath the Chariot. So I do feel like for a while, some of you guys may have struggled with the fully leaping into it. I feel like, again, something, I've seen someone like itch. There was always like an inner itch. There was always an inner calling for you to like express yourself in the ways that you wanted to express yourself, to do the things that you wanted to do. But we're all human, okay? Whether it's our own self-limiting beliefs, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's classmates, whether it's like financial limitations, right? There's a lot of reasons and there's a lot of things that we can kind of blame as to why we don't try something, as to why we don't succeed in something. But I feel like you really just leapt forward, and even though you weren't quite sure where you were going to go again, for some of you, it's like the universe literally, again, we were going back to that breakup, we were going back to that heartache, whatever that is for you. The universe did that so you were forced to go on pause, because it was in that moment that you were really confronting this for the first time. And instead of deciding to kind of just sit in the middle of the crossroads, you decided to either turn left or turn right. And there's no wrong answer. It was just Spirit was seeing you sit there and just wait there, and they're like, come on, we got to get a move on. But people really do like this. I really want to point out, like, people are noticing it. It's not like the star and the high priestess. It's just you've really allowed a different aspect of yourself to shine. People have always recognized the star power within you. People have always recognized the intuitive power within you, but maybe you were a little bit shy. Maybe you were a little bit less confident than you were supposed to be. Maybe you dimmed yourself a lot more than you were supposed to. Maybe you were a little bit scared to share the information that you knew, or to appear as intelligent as you are. But this new chapter, what a powerful combination. I just want to point out the high priestess and the star coming out at the same time, how rare that is. I looked up right at 6:06. You are a powerful, radiant feminine. And you don't have to be a woman again. You're just, and again, it's not even that you're a feminine. It gives me more feminine energy. I feel like I literally just got a phone call, and it was so funny because all day I was like, they're going to call me right before they close. They're going to call me right before they close. They ended up calling me right as they closed, like literally at 5. Literally at 5. Anyways, so there needs to be, like, you've noticed, you've realized, and you've accepted to, like, accept the little things in life as magical. You don't always accept things as, like, coincidences anymore. You don't brush things aside like you used to. I think you're really starting to understand, like, the magic that you carry and possess, and people are starting to notice that too. So I'm hearing your aura is expanding, confirmation, and you're really magnetizing people in right now because you're really understanding your worth. People are seeing your intuition as well. So whether you're a healer, a tarot reader, a psychic, whether you're just somebody who's just, you know what it is, people are really going to come to you, and they're really going to want to seek out information from you because you have a lot. And Ace of Cups, there's a lot of love for you, okay? I feel like this has to deal with the self more than anything, but Spirit's really just saying, like, this is the time and place in life where love just wants to come in for you, okay? I feel like you're at a place where you're loving yourself, and from there you're going to have those platonic, the romantic, the familial. It's going to come in all areas, and it's just going to feel like a lot, but in a really beautiful way, and Spirit is saying you deserve this. So your uniqueness isn't always bad, it isn't always good, but in this case, it is wonderful. So keep carrying it out. Don't dim yourself. Don't change yourself. It's what makes you beautiful, babes.